morning? Well, it's good to see you. My name is Joe. This is Michelle. And we just wanted to share a few of the things going on in the life of our church this month. First of all, if you are new to our church, or if this is your first time, welcome. We are so glad that you are with us this morning, and we would love to get to know you even more. If you have not already, we encourage you to visit the hub after service, fill out a Connect card. Somebody will be there to greet you with a smile, to answer any questions that you have, and to put a little gift in your hand just for being here this morning. So if you are newer to our church, or if this is your first time, do not miss out on that.
Friends, so many of you were at our beach bonfire last week, and we just want to celebrate the sweet gift of fellowship and being outside together. It was the best. I think my favorite part, we went around in a moment and just talked about how God's been at work in our lives this summer, and it was just so sweet to hear how God's at work in your life and in our church, and so thank you so much for those who planned the event and for those who came. It was awesome. So many more fun events happening this summer, so rest assured if you weren't able to come to that.
It does feel like summer's coming to an end, but we are not done yet. We are not done yet. In a couple of weeks, on Saturday, the 16th of August, we will be having a good old-fashioned movie night on the lawn. You do not want to miss that. It'll be at 6:30. And if I'm not mistaken, Pastor Jonathan, we're watching The Godfather? No, it'll be a good, wholesome family movie, appropriate for all ages. So do not fret about that. So again, 6:30, bring your lawn chairs. We'll have snacks for you. We encourage you to bring your dinner. We also encourage you to bring a friend. It'll be a fun time on the lawn on the 16th of August.
Yeah. And friends, we're so thankful for your faithfulness in giving to Friends Church Anaheim. If you want to be a part of how God's at work here by giving, you can scan the QR code behind me or give in the black boxes in the back. And next we're going to welcome up Jonathan.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's good to see you guys. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. You guys, you blew through those announcements. I love it. No, it's good. It's good. There's a lot going on here. The first thing that you guys may have noticed when you came in is that we've started construction. So, can we clap for that? We purchased this property back in May of last year. So it's been over a year now that we've been waiting and doing lots of planning and lots of thinking and back and forth and all the things. But it was so exciting this week to be here and see them actually start doing some things. So the lobby has been scraped of, asbestos, things like that. It's important to clear some of that stuff out. But construction is starting tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. in this building. So they're gonna we can clap for that. Which means this is your last Sunday in this building with this carpet. So please say goodbye to the carpet for me. The paneling, we are gonna take the paneling as well. So if you want to take some off the wall when you leave, take a bit with you. Go for it. But that also means that next week we will be outside. We have an amazing lawn, which we love, and we know how to be outside because we started outside and we came in, and now we'll be back out. And our hope is that it'll be 2 months, not even, that we're outside while they're doing all the inside work. But we'll keep you guys posted on all the details that you need to know about timelines and what's happening and pictures and all that stuff. But next Sunday, outside, so bring an umbrella, bring a little fan if it's going to be a little warm. But I'm so excited because this is something we've been waiting for, praying about. All of those things. And next week, we're going to talk more about, what is it going to take to complete this? What's it going to take from us? What can we do? How can we participate both with our resources, with our finances, with our time? Are there projects we can do? All of that kind of stuff. We'll start talking about that. But getting it started, I just have to say today, I feel like so much hope and so much joy and excitement. So I hope you guys feel the same. So again, enjoy the time while you've got it in here, in this space. Today, we are going to be getting into a message. We're actually starting a new series today on rest. So I don't know about you guys, but summer has felt really busy. It hasn't been a chill summer for us as a family. We've got camps and things are happening and whatnot. And so I want to ask, how many of you have already taken a summer trip? You've taken any kind of summer vacation type trip? Okay, a good amount of you. How many of you are still planning on taking some sort of trip before summer's over? A few of you, great. My family, we're planning on going on a cruise in 2 weeks, and I am so excited. It's not that exciting. We're going to Ensenada, so it's not like we're going, across the world, but we are getting out of town. I'm so excited. Second question that I have for you guys is, when was the last time you took a restful vacation? Oh, a little bit longer for most of you guys? How many of you have had a restful vacation this year? You're just I came back rest and refreshed. A couple of you guys? So good. That's no shame. I'm so jealous. That's amazing that you guys can have that kind of rest. But we often find, when it comes to vacations, They scratch a little bit of that itch of rest, but they rarely actually solve the problem of like, I need rest. And then I go on vacation, I come home, I'm like, dude, I need a vacation from my vacation. Especially if you have young kids, you travel with them. I'm like, I need 3 vacations away from them to like make up for the one with them often. And it's so funny, I talked about this my very first Sunday that I was the pastor here, so about a year and a half ago. I talked about our famous reader road trips, and my parents were in town. They actually live up in Idaho. And they're back in town today, and I'm gonna mention it again because no shame to you guys. But we would go on summer, we talked about this last night, we would go on like 3-week like road trips when we were kids, and they were not vacations. They were adventures. They were trips, things like cars breaking down and running into like hailstorms and tornadoes and like luggage getting like lost and broken, and everything that could go wrong would go wrong on our family trips. And I just look back at that and think, why did you guys do it? Was it worth it? No, we have incredible memories from those times, but what we don't have is I don't think we came home rested, like, it's like we have memories, but I don't know if we had that true rest. And as I look at my vacations, they often aren't actually an effective strategy for finding true rest. And that's the first thing I want to say today, is that vacationing is not an effective strategy for true rest. So if you're looking for your vacation, you're like, I just can't wait, I'll be gone a week, and then everything's going to be okay again. It's not, right? Like that is a false promise. Like it will give you rest at times if you do it right, but it's not going to give you everything that you need. So that's what we're looking at today. In fact, I was thinking about vacations, and vacation is really this idea of like vacating, like leaving, getting rid of everything, kind of putting everything off. I like how the European countries do it. They call it holiday, going on holiday. I'm like, I love that term. Which makes me think naturally of the Lord of the Rings, because, holidays. And I was thinking about Bilbo Baggins, who's one of the characters in the beginning of Lord of the Rings. And he has this quote, and it fits appropriately today. He says this to one of his friends. He says, I feel I need a holiday, a very long holiday, as I've told you before, probably a permanent holiday. I don't expect I shall return. In fact, I don't mean to, and I have made all arrangements. I feel all thin, sort of stretched, if you know what I mean, like butter that's been scraped over too much bread. That can't be right. I need a change or something. And today, as I was thinking about that, I was like, that might be you today. I feel kind of thin. I feel like I've been stretched like too far, like I'm just a little bit of butter over too much bread. I need not just like a vacation, I need a holiday. I need a long rest. So what do we do with that tension? Because we don't live in a world where for many of us, it's possible to do that. Just be like, all right, cool, just go on a rest for the rest of your life. But we can relate. In fact, Jesus understands this deep need for rest. He says in Matthew 11:20, he says to us, he says, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. I feel this, right? When I read this passage, it speaks to me saying, Jonathan, it's not about just getting away. It's about finding rest in someone, right? It's finding rest in Jesus. His burden is easy. His yoke is light. Like when I hear those words, I think more work, don't you? Right? Burden, yoke, more work. He says, no. It's the lightest thing you could imagine. And so today, as we're going to look at how we find true rest, we're going to go back to the Old Testament, and we're going to look at this idea of Sabbath. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Sabbath. Maybe the past week with Ozzy Osbourne dying, you're thinking like Black Sabbath. That's not what we're talking about today. It's the different kind of Sabbath. What we're talking today is Sabbath that God provides. Simply, it's just a day or time of rest. That's what the Sabbath means. And it's actually made famous by the Ten Commandments. So if you've read the Ten Commandments, it's the fourth commandment. You should rest. Take a Sabbath. Treat the Sabbath as holy. So we're going to be looking at this idea of, okay, God's solution for when we think we need a vacation, we need time, his solution is, I've already given it to you. You just got to take advantage of what he wants to give us. So I'm going to go over 4 main points of the Sabbath today. And the first point that we're going to be looking at is this, that the Sabbath is an unearned gift. The Sabbath is an unearned gift. See, before the Sabbath was ever a rule in the Ten Commandments, it was a gift that God gave to humanity. And to understand this, we're going to look at this totally undeserved and radical gift in the book of Genesis. So, if you have your Bibles, we're going to be in here for most of the sermon today. Genesis 2, and we're just going to be looking at 3 verses. Genesis 2, verse 1 says this, thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. Right? God has finished his creation. And so by the 7th day, God had finished the work that he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all of his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and he made it holy because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Now, why did God need to rest? Sometimes people are like, well, he must have been tired. That's a lot of work. I'm creating the whole world. That's kind of a big deal. If I had to do that, I'd be tired, so I would need rest. I have a hard time just like getting up in the morning sometimes. Like I could use a day of rest like that. I don't think God needed rest. I don't think God was tired. God is infinite. God has abundant power. God doesn't need to rest, right? God is always ever present and aware and powerful. It's like, this doesn't prove to us that God is weak. God needed to rest for us, right? Not because he needed it, he actually wanted it for us. So he's resting as an example to us. Look at verse 2 again. It says, by the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Something I know about God is that God is never done with his work. Right? It's not like God is actually like, all right, done, cool, I can check out. You know, this is kind of the deistic approach where it's like God made the earth, he set it up, and then he's like, bye, you guys got this, I'm done, I'm tired. That was a lot. No. Why would he do that? He does this so that he can show us it's okay for work to be done. It's okay for you to say, I did some work and I'm done. Right? He is setting limits for us by setting a limit for himself on creation. In fact, when we look at Genesis, it says earlier that man, we were made in the image of God. And when we were made in the image of God, that means that we were made to be like him, to act like him, to do what he does. And so as we see here that God worked hard, so we work hard. Right? Today is not a message about work, but if we're talking about work, work is good. Work is a gift that God has given us. In fact, he says work 6 days. Work hard. Do what you need to. But God works hard. God delights in creating, which means we get to delight in creating.